What is true patriotism? True patriotism is not about hatred. You may love your country, but that's not a reason to hate others. On June 24th, 2024, Suzhou, China, a man with a knife tried to attack a group of primary school students on a bus. The bus guide, Miss Youping, rushed forward to stop the attacker without regard for her own safety. And finally, she saved the children's life. But unfortunately, she passed away because she was stabbed multiple times. That the students on that bus were all Japanese, studying at an independent Japanese primary school in Suzhou. By the way, Suzhou is a developed city in China with a high GDP. So many Japanese people and their families live there. After the accident, the police said it was a random attack rather than one attacking Japanese people. Some still wonder if it was an attack motivated by extreme patriotism. Even if, just as the police said, it is not an attack on Japanese people but a random attack, we can still see in our daily life that some people attack others just due to extreme patriotism. And this phenomenon is not happening in one country, for example, my country, but this phenomenon is happening around the world. Somebody attacked others just due to extreme patriotism. Who is a real hero? Despite her heroism, who faced online abuse, with some stupid extremists calling her a female traitor, and celebrating the crime in the name of patriotism. Those people think Japan is the internal enemy of China, and they're threatened to monitor those Japanese schools in China, because in their view, those Japanese schools are not real educational institutions, but a secret basis for spying on Chinese people, such as this guy.
I am at the gate of Shanghai Japanese School. I'll be watching everything here. Don't worry, my mother country. Let the motherland focus on Taiwan. I'll take care of everything here. I'm standing in front of the Shanghai Japanese School. The Japanese are brought up with the idea that other people's lives, including themselves, is insignificant except for their emperor. Since their own lives are insignificant, then the lives of our enemies are worthless. This also contributed to their mistreatment of captives and the slaughter of civilians. Such peoples are all around us. I'm at the gate of the Shanghai Japanese School. The security guards wearing these raincoats in the rain look a little weird to me.
How stupid this guy are. Fortunately, they are not the mainstream. On June 28th, the People's Daily condemned such hateful behavior, and major international platforms announced efforts to combat extreme nationalist rhetoric. Some netizens believe Hu is a real hero. On June 28th, 8 a.m., Hu's farewell ceremony was held at the Central Hall of Suzhou Funeral Home. The hall is the profile in the facility. Qianqiu in Chinese means forever. At the same day, the Japanese embassy in China flew its flag to Half-Mast in morning, and the Suzhou city honored Hu with the title of Model of Courageous Acts, highlighting her bravery and the kindness. The Japanese school held a memorial service attended by all Japanese families. A Japanese parent said on social media, "Our principal, a Japanese man, cried uncontrollably, and all the Japanese mothers present were in tears." Flowers continuously arrived at the bus stop from local citizens, Japanese parents, and even delivery workers fulfilling online orders. And on June 13th, over 200 people attended a memorial at a bookstore in Tokyo, including Chinese and Japanese people. People continue to mourn her. What is true patriotism, and who is the true patriot? The answer is simple. Just see what Hu Youping did. I'm not meaning that you should, like Hu Youping, sacrifice your own life to others, because that is a heroic act. You don't need to do that, but at the very least, true patriot, a true patriotism, is not a reason to hurt others. Please let me explain why some Chinese people hurt Japanese people so much. That is a historical reason. During the Second World War, the Japanese army invaded China. And in fact, the Japanese army did some very terrible things, destroying our cities, occupying our territory, killing people, raping women, and etc. So that's the reason why some Chinese people don't like Japanese people. But I want to say, of course, we need to say no to imperialism and militarism. We need to remember the history, bad or good, but we also need to make a clean line between history and reality. Our real enemy is imperialism and militarism. Of course, the ordinary Japanese people are not a part of them. So we should remember, history is history, and today is today. The ordinary Japanese people didn't do anything wrong to ordinary Chinese people. Even sometimes when you are at difficult times, they help you, such as earthquakes and other disasters, coronavirus, that pandemic. They didn't hate you. They helped you. So that's why I said a true patriot need to understand that history is history, reality is reality. So that's why I said a real patriot has a common sense. True patriotism is about to help your people, to build your country, but not to hate innocent people. True patriotism is about to build your country, but not destroy other country. Of course, you can oppose imperialism and militarism, but you also need to understand that ordinary kind people are not a part of them. That's why we cannot allow hatred to continue against the innocent people. On the contrary, a foolish patriot doesn't understand the point, that doesn't understand the difference between reality and history. They think historical hatred lasts forever, and the descendants of the enemy are always their enemy. There is no room for peace talk. A foolish patriot doesn't care about people's life, even those of their own compatriots. The logic is that if you don't think and exactly like they do, you are a traitor. For example, you must be as foolish as they are to be a patriot. That's the logic. If you like Japanese people, if you like Japanese culture, you are a traitor. If you use Japanese products, you are a traitor. What? How dare you? How dare you save a Japanese life? You are absolutely a big traitor. So, how ridiculous this logic? But there's no matter how ridiculous this logic. You always can see that foolish patriots in my country. Even maybe you also can see those foolish patriots in your own country. There is an example. On September 15th, 2012, around 1 p.m. in Xi'an. Xi'an is the capital city of Shanxi province. A young man, a young foolish patriot and nationalist whose name Taiyang stole a U-rock from a motorcycle and started smashing Japanese cars. At about 3:40 p.m., Li Zhenli, A middle-aged man drove his car along the road, and his car was a Japanese brand, Toyota. Li Jianli drove his Toyota Corolla along the road and was stopped by a group of thugs, including Cai Yang, that foolish patriot. When Cai Yang started hitting the windshield with the U-Rock, Li Jianli tried to intervene. In response, Cai Yang struck Li Jianli's left side of the hand 4 times with the U-Log, causing severe injuries and resulting in Li Jianli's being classified having a level of 5 disability. Cai Yang was eventually sentenced to 10 years in prison, but what he did, he caused to the car owner's family is irreparable. What's even more infuriating is that Cai Yang still believed he was a real patriot and he did the right thing. So I think this is a typical example of foolish patriot. They haven't harmed the real enemy. The only thing they did is to harm their own compatriot. At the end of this program, let us to remember Hu Youping, this lady, this real hero. Hu Youping, an ordinary Chinese woman, middle-aged Chinese woman, a mother, a doctor. An ordinary Chinese people wasn't that great, but what she did was really great. Her neighbors describe her liking to take walks and very kind. She had a habit of exercising in the morning, sometimes leaving as early as 6:40 a.m. A young neighbor girl remembered Auntie Hu as a very nice person who helped her change into dry clothes and sheltered her from the rain on rainy day. A colleague of Hu said Hu was a family-oriented person, willing to sacrifice to her family, and good at making pastures. Very filial and hadn't changed much over the years. And also, Hu was a big fan of social media. She had her own TikTok account. She frequently changing her earrings in over 116 short videos, wearing gold, pear, round, triangular ones, matching hair necklaces, and hairbanders. She often humorously called herself vain and old beauty. What a lovely person. But this lovely person now is passed away forever. People should remember her. Lu Xun, one of the greatest writer in the modern China, wrote in one of his articles, from ancient times, there have been those who work diligently, those who strive with all their might, those who speak out for the people, and those who sacrifice themselves for truth. Even the so-called official history, which essentially serves as genealogy for emperors and ministers, often cannot conceal their brilliance. These people are the backbone of China, and I think in Lu Xun's mind, Hu Youping is a real backbone of China, and also she is a hero who represents the brilliance of the human beings. Hu Youping forever.